Oke, Mbak, ready. Bismillah.
All right, so welcome to the IELTS speaking exam. I am Diah as your examiner, and may I have your name, please?
Sure, ma'am. My full name is Haidir Algigafar Farida. You may call me Haidir.
Okay, hi dear. Where are you from?
I'm originally from East Kalimantan, specifically in Kutai Kartanegara Regency. But right now I'm living in Malang City, East Java.
Okay, so do you work or are you a student?
I'm both actually. I'm working as an online English teacher at Bilajar and Lister. And at the same time, I'm also learning and preparing IELTS
All
for
right, nice.
for IELTS official test.
Okay, so now let's talk about dictionaries. Do you often use a dictionary?
Obviously, yes, I always utilize dictionary, thesaurus, Google Translate, and everything, and other such platforms for my study and work.
What do you use dictionaries for?
Since I'm an English teacher, so I have to be able to comprehend the meaning, the definition, and the synonyms of every single word. That's why I'm using a dictionary uh, for, comprehending those matters, the meaning, the definition, the context, and the synonyms.
What kinds of dictionaries do you think are most useful?
Uh, in my opinion, all types of dictionary would be great. They have their own purposes. For example, we have Google Translate uh, for online platforms for one of the online platforms, and I think the most significant one would be Cambridge Dictionary because that's the most credible one that I have ever uh, been using at the moment. So I think Cambridge Cambridge Dictionary. Sorry.
Okay, so let's talk about pets. Do you have a pet?
No, I do not have a pet at the moment.
And do you like animals?
I would say I am one of animals lovers. Yes, obviously.
And then what's your favorite animal?
Pardon?
What's your favorite animal?
I would say dogs are my thing. They're just so loyal and cute at the same time. And yeah, dogs are so funny for me. So dogs would be uh, my favorite one.
What is a popular pet to have in your country?
I think it's a cat, just because Indonesia, my country, is the majority society in my country, Indonesia, is Muslims. Uh, and in Islam, we are taught that cats are the most holy and pure uh, animal, just because it's uh, our prophet's pet at that time. So I think that's why the fellow Muslims tend to pet a cat for uh, their own to follow our prophets.
So did you have a pet as a child?
Yes, my family used to have monkeys. uh, yes, there's one of my neighbors at that time sold their monkeys to us for their needs to study abroad. And my mom finally bought that monkey to be our pet. And we raised this monkey for years. And unfortunately, one day the zoo officers came by and took it from us because it's already uh, a huge monkey, and it could be dangerous for the neighborhood. So we we let go and we moved on.
Okay, so why do people have pets?
Uh, I assume that people, you know, pets an animal because they are just animals lovers, just like me. Or another reason would be because they are lonely. They are such an introvert person, and they don't like socializing or mingle in the crowd. So that's why animals would be their most comfortable and suitable company.
All right, so let's talk about neighbors and neighborhood. Do you like your neighbors?
Uh, do you prefer to my current neighbors or in my hometown's neighbors?
Your current neighbors?
Okay, I'm okay with my current neighborhood. They're fine. They're great. We always say hi whenever we meet. We always greet each other.
Okay, so are neighbors usually close to each other in your country?
Yes, definitely, because in Indonesia we have the we have the one of values of our nation is gotong royong, which means togetherness. We need to help each other. We need to socialize with our neighbors and stuff. That's why this paradigm has taught us to get along with our surroundings. I think, yeah, that's the main reason why in Indonesia neighbors get along.
Okay, so what is your neighborhood like?
Hmm. Uh, Funny thing is that they're so curious about each other. And what do I mean by curious is that uh, they tend to ask you about everything. So you need to update your social life, your professional work, everything in your life. You have to share it with them uh, because you know, they feel like you are their family. So they feel like they have an absolute right to know you deeper, even it's about private matters. So I would say yeah, our surroundings, our neighborhoods are very curious people.
Okay, so do you think your neighborhood is a good place for children?
Oh wow, that's a very difficult questions, ma'am. Uh to be objective, I feel I'm afraid that it's not in my books. Even though we are so, you know, we are holding our value of togetherness, but I think it's still not a proper place for my future children, at least, because they're so judgmental at the same time, ma'am. That's the biggest weakness of my neighborhood. So I think that's why it's just not really favorable environment for children to grow up with supportive environment because they're so judgmental. If you do or make one mistake, it's always it will be always brought up to the table, to the discussion, instead of your achievements. That's why, unfortunately, no, not really.
Okay, how could your neighborhood be improved?
Interesting question. Okay, I personally believe that my surroundings could be improved in terms of education and social awareness. What do I mean by those things? First of all, there are since there are numerous people in my neighborhood who are not going to school because they don't really value education. That's why I think the government should encourage the society to pursue higher education for their own sake. That's the first. And second of all, last but not least, I would say the social awareness of not being judgmental. Like I said and explained previously, we need to understand individuals' circumstances. We have different struggles and needs. That's why we cannot compare our own to another. We cannot bring one mistake all the time, over and over again. It's just destroying the mentality of the children. That's why I strongly argue that we need to be able to try to be supportive families and friends.
All
That's
right, so this is the end of part one. I'll give you the cue card and you have 1 minute for taking a notes. And this is the cue card for you. You have to describe an unexpected event and you should say what it was, when it happened, who was there, why it was unexpected, and explain why you enjoy it. You have 1 minute for taking a notes. You may start now. Okay, unfortunately, the time is up. So now you may start to present your topic and 2 minutes from now. All the best.
all right, ma'am. Thank you. I am going to be talking about one of my unforgettable occupations. It's it was my very first experience of being robbed, but I succeeded to handle it. Uh, it happened in Eiffel Tower, Paris, France. I went to I I went there with my travel mate, Bima, my buddy, my favorite buddy. Just we were just scrolling around uh through through the river, around the city, and just going around and around the Eiffel Tower. And unfortunately, what happened is that it's supposed to be a fun holiday, right? But it became a disaster for me because my goodie bag was taken by a stranger. It was so fast, and I didn't realize at first. And I I knew it when I you know I was looking for my bag and it was not there. So I went to the lost and found corner, and the police officer was so kind and generous to take this case seriously. And I don't know, out of the blue, we found the thief. He's he was in the, under the bridge, and we just caught him, and everything I lost, my phone, my wallet, and my passport, I got it back. So I really enjoyed this experience at the same time, even it's really unexpected event. Thank you.
All right. So now we've been talk about unexpected event that you have ever experienced. So now I will ask you a relevant questions related to the previous topic. So why do you think people hold events?
Pardon, ma'am?
Why do people hold events?
Uh, as far as I recall, uh, our societies tend to run an event due to its uh, good and memorable momentum. What do I mean by that? For example, take a look at the example of weddings, birthday parties, and graduation events. They are once and for all moment for this individual. So that's why I think people do not want to, uh, avoid this moment, do not want to take it for granted. So they want to make it unforgettable and memorable. That's why they hold an event for it, to remember it, to value it. I think that's the main reason, ma'am.
Okay, so what are the popular public events in your home country, Indonesia?
The let me think for a while. Okay, mm, the most famous occupation in Indonesia would be, if we're talking about public events, yeah, I think it would be the Independence Day on 17th August annually. This is really a huge event for all Indonesian citizens because we celebrate our independence, history, and culture happened in the past. Yeah, I think that's the one, ma'am.
Okay, so do Indonesian people spend a lot of money on events?
Yes, unfortunately, yes. It's not my principle. For example, wedding, for example. Uh, I do not want to have a big wedding celebration because I prefer to save the money for my honeymoon, holidays, and traveling, for example. However, in contrast, the majority of Indonesian societies, they tend to make it, as big as possible, even if they need to make a debt on from the bank, for example. So yeah, we the vast majority of Indonesian take this weddings very seriously.
All right. So, in your opinion, what are the advantages and disadvantages of holding international events?
Oh wow, that's such a heavy question for me. Uh, Talking about international events such as the Olympics or the recent one in Bali, we had conducted G20 international events for months. Uh, I would say it's really significantly essential for the host country and other international states. The main uh, justification for this is because it's really beneficial for Indonesia uh, because it's directly benefiting the local businesses. For example, the sellers of local products, because the tourists or the foreigners tend to buy such souvenirs, right? On top of that, this is just really exclusive for bilateral and multicultural agreements. We, for example, Indonesia and Australia have been really in a good relationship regarding infrastructure, education, and educational and healthcare, collaborations between the two countries. That's why we have the scholarship for Indonesian and Australian to exchange their students. I think this is uh, a really good, opportunity, golden chance for both countries and all participants.
All right, so this is the end of the IELTS speaking test. I wish you good luck. Okay,
Thank you, Mbak.
yeah. Menurut saya, okay. So how do you feel?
Uh, it was exhausting.
Oke, yang pertama-pertama tadi ya, yang masih topik-topik, itu kan tadi saya kasih 3 tema ya untuk yang speaking part one ya. Kalau nggak salah tadi topiknya tentang dictionary ya. Yang dictionary ini jawabannya pendek-pendek, Mas. Ya, pendek-pendek. If I'm not mistaken, you only have 2 sentences ya. Tapi ketika masuk di bagian neighborhood, itu kayak bagus reasons-nya. You nailed it in this topic ya, pas neighborhood. Ya, cuma yang di bagian topiknya tentang pet tadi sama dictionary, I would like you to see you explore more ya, extend more. At least you have 3 sentences ya, provided ideas-nya, karena menurut saya tadi itu pendek banget jawabannya ya. Ya, dan masih agak kelihatan nervousnya. Tapi pas pas masuk di topik yang neighborhood tadi itu santai, chill banget menjelaskannya kan. Nah, masuk ya kayak part 1 tuh kayak kelihatan nervousnya, tapi pas kesini semakin kesini sudah mulai kelihatan ada harapan gitu ya. Sampai di part ketiga tadi bagus semuanya. Cuma oke, yang part kedua sorry, yang part kedua konsistensi penggunaan grammarnya yaitu bagus banget tadi. You use past tense, kemudian ada vocabularies-nya yang bagus juga keluar kayak strangers ya. Dan pas banget dengan topiknya yang traveling gitu, keluar semuanya vocabularies-nya. Kemudian fluensinya juga dapat, body language-nya juga apalagi. Kemudian kalau masalah pronunciation saya tidak komentar lagi ya. Bagus, pokoknya bagus penggunaan contractions-nya dan nggak ada lagi yang kayak missing gitu. Semuanya kayak kedengaran jelas di kuping aku gitu. Yang part 3 tadi ada event. Kalau nggak salah occupation itu kan pekerjaan ya Mas ya. Itu agak jauh kalau paraphrase-nya ke occupations gitu. Hati-hati. Ya, hati-hati di bagian situ ya. Meskipun tadi pas akhirnya langsung dibawa ke di run an event ya. Jadi untungnya Mas langsung arahin ke sana tadi karena kok bisa nyerempet ke sana ya occupations gitu. Tapi at the end you successfully describe the event at the end gitu. Oke, dan apa ya? Kalau dari segi idea sudah bagus sih Mas ininya aja ya. Cuma nanti kalau ini usahakan di extend lebih ya karena di speaking itu kita memang salah satu poin untuk yang fluency dan coherence adalah speak at length ya, speak at length. Kalau yang flow of speech-nya sudah bagus menurut saya fluensinya. Cuma kadang-kadang idenya itu kayak Mas itu think hard. Jika topiknya bukan yang Mas banget gitu. Jadi nanti berdoa saja semoga dapat topik yang Mas hajar banget ya. Jadi kayak enak banget. Kalau kalau topiknya Mas banget itu kayak rasanya tuh kita nggak mau berhenti nanya sama kamu gitu. Kalau kalau kita tahu itu topiknya kamu, kayak tadi pas membahas tentang neighborhood, kok saya lamar ya kok saya pilih topik neighborhood ini lama ya, padahal aku kayak suka banget dengar penjelasannya di sana gitu. Ya, itu sih catatannya ya Mas ya. Kalau masalah gramatikal saya nggak noticing ada kesalahan sama sekali. Gitu.
Oke.
Ya, keep practicing. Ya, kalau mungkin apa ya kalau ini seperti yang saya lihat-lihat kemarin sih nilainya nggak jauh-jauh sih. Kalau saya ya eh, bisa seperti saya lah nanti dapat 7 juga.
Iya.
Amin. Ya, ya bisa bisa insya Allah. Ya, tapi ya kita nggak bisa prediksi ya. Soalnya student saya kemarin tuh bilang, Miss, kemarin pas saya real test ternyata native-nya tuh pakai masker. Jadi suaranya kecil, suaranya pelan. Jadi aku nggak bisa noticing apa yang dia bilang mau clarify juga nggak enak karena selalu clarify. Jadi make sure aja nanti semoga kupingnya itu bisa nangkap ya apa yang diomongin. Jangan selalu pakai headset ya Mas,
Enggak.
biar nanti lebih enak pas dengerin si native-nya itu kalau ngomong. Karena sometimes kalau misalnya native-nya itu juga kadang dapat examiner yang orang tua ya, they sometimes also have a problem with hearing. Jadi kayak mereka juga kadang punya masalah dengan pendengarannya gitu kan. Jadi uh, sebisa mungkin juga nanti kalau bicara Mas Haidir juga nanti tone suaranya itu dinaikin dikit ya ketika ketika di dalam ruangan karena tadi saya lebih dengar jelas karena saya juga pakai headset di sini jadi nyampe di kuping gitu itu sih overall good Mas ya. Cuma nanti yang catatannya tadi kalau misalnya ini usahakan 3 sampai 4 kalimat ya. Kayak penjelasan tentang neighborhood tadi itu sudah bagus banget. Oke, di nanti. Oke, ada yang mau ditanyakan Mas?
Dua pertanyaan Mbak boleh?
Oke,
Yang
silakan.
pertama, kalau nanti pakai masker masuknya kan, terus saya boleh nggak Mbak minta request buka masker?
Itu aku nggak tahu Mas. Soalnya yang kemarin tuh di yang Mas Ardika, Pak Ardika ini dia bilang bulenya nggak pakai masker tetap gitu ya pakai maskernya. Jadi
Bolehnya
Pak
pakai
Ardi,
masker, Mbak?
bulenya pakai masker sambil nanya gitu. Jadi kebayangkan Mas, kebayang orang pakai masker sambil bicara kan.
Iya.
Jadi berdoa aja. Mungkin bulenya tuh sakit gitu kan. Jadi dia pakai masker. Iya.
Eh,
Jadi awalnya Pak Ardik ini kan tes kedua ya. Jadi aku sampai bilang nama nggak apa-apa. Mas Haidu juga nggak kenal. Jadi Pak Ardika tuh pas belajar sama saya tuh sudah dapat overall 6,5 gitu kan. Speakingnya pas aku assess dia tuh selalu dapat 5,5 sama ratingnya 5,5. Tapi pas real test, alhamdulillah dia naik jadi 6,6 ratingnya sama speakingnya kan. Tapi dia belum puas dengan nilainya karena dia kan diminta overall 7 dari office. Jadi dia uh, purchase kembali, dibeli kembali program di skuter, tapi dia bukan sama saya lagi karena kebetulan saya sudah full studentnya gitu kan, tapi dia sama tutor lain. Nah, pas retouch kedua dia bilang ini nilainya turun. Yang pas retouch kedua tuh yang naik itu cuma reading naik jadi 7 dari 6,5 jadi 7. Kemudian speakingnya turun katanya 5,5. Terus aku tanyakan, aduh kenapa Mas jadi turun? Kan harusnya naik ya karena dapat ini lagi. Terus dia bilang, ini Miss apa namanya si native speakernya tuh pakai masker jadi saya nggak terlalu kedengaran suaranya pelan gitu katanya dan jadi kayak kayak mau bertanya ulang kayak segan juga gitu kan mau clarify sebenarnya kan nggak boleh terlalu sering juga ya Mas ya clarify sebisa mungkin jangan terlalu sering. Jadi usahakan nanti save clarifying questions-nya untuk yang part ketiga. Jangan pernah lakukan di part satu karena part satu itu masih kategori yang sangat mudah dan bisa banget untuk ditebak sebenarnya ya. Jadi simpan yang clarifying questions-nya untuk yang part ketiga saja nanti. Ketika itu masih sangat susah. Iya sih. Pertanyaan kedua? Ya.
ini boleh saya upload di YouTube, Mbak?
Apanya? Aku ada suara batuk-batuk.
rekaman ini. Nggak apa-apa, Mbak.
Eh,
Untuk belajar eh, apa IELTS speaking practice plus feedback dari Mbak Diah gitu.
jangan.
Please,
Emang kamu ada YouTube channel?
ada dong. Boleh toh, Mbak?
Boleh deh karena
Oke,
muka saya nggak ada, nggak kelihatan.
thank you, Mbak. Saya matikan ya, Mbak. Eh,
Eh,
rekamannya.